Welcome to program Pulse on Dance. I'm Valentina Kozlova, founder of VKDF and VKIBC. And let's get started.
Tell me how you became a principal with the Bolshoi Ballet.
It's not just like one day
No.
that they make you principal. So what they do, they give you like triple bills to dance. So it goes pas de deux. It goes one pas de deux after another. So by the time I basically started to dance full-length ballets, I already danced as a pas de deux. And I think that perhaps I already did maybe La Baudelaire de Shades, I'm not sure. But one day Grigorovich called me and he said there's a performance in Leningrad, which is St. Petersburg, Kiev, which is now Mariinsky. And so they need couple. And all principal dancers from Bolshoi, they really hated to go to Leningrad. Because it's always like Moscow and Leningrad in culture, and Moscow and Leningrad in real life, they always were like competing.
Okay.
And even Leningrad, St. Petersburg at that time and now time was culture center and the capital, but then Moscow was capital for a very long time. Life was better. Bolshoi's theater had more freedom. With Bolshoi, we travel everywhere, while Mariinsky didn't. And it's the same school, Vaganov school. And in St. Petersburg, in Kiev or Mariinsky now, they at the time they did precisely what needs to be, which to my belief at the time, the way I saw that it was perfectly but dry. While in Bolshoi, like if you take Galina Ulanova, if you take my coach Raisa Stuchkova or Maya Plisetskaya, it was all about huge expression and emotions, and that was the difference. However, neither people from St. Petersburg or Moscow want to have an exchange. So all our principal dancers who are supposed to go, Grigorovich's wife Natalia Besmertnova said no. Another young at the time, but older than me, ballerina Lyudmila Semeniaka said no. So he said, okay, that's the test. If you succeed there, you'll be dancing here. That's how it all began.
Big test.
Yeah,
Big test. So you arrive in Leningrad, and you, what is the pas de deux you're gonna have to do? What ballet are they doing? So I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So you've traveled there. Did they give you so you show up? You told me the Bolshoi really took care of you. They you said they called the doctors. They would they provided coaches. They provided the time and the structure and the practice that you needed so that you would feel confident when you came up on stage. Was that the case over there?
As a guest artist, there's nobody unless, well, my coach came for the performance, but not for the rehearsal. So what happened that both Leonid and I, we arrived by train. Right in the hotel, got telephone call that conductor, Shirokov, that he was a conductor of Kiev. He expects us on a full run.
And you just arrived?
Just arrived.
Okay.
So we said, but we just arrived, dropped our bags. Basically, they saying yes or no. This is it. No discussions. So we ran to this theater, changed, came into big studio. There's full cast, and Shirokov said that we'll start from Black Swan pas de deux. And I remember I said, can I do warm up? Because Black Swan pas de deux starts immediately. Like you have to do
difficult,
right? And he just basically said no, except that in the book it says more like just no. And we did it. And when I was doing 32 fouettes, because at this point technically I was equipped quite well, being cold, I guess if I woke up at 6 in the morning, I probably could do 32 fouettes, it doesn't matter. And after that he left. He didn't want to see the rest of ballet like rehearsing. And that was the beginning. So I felt such a unfriendliness and such a not welcoming situation. I was very young, you know, and my life was, as you probably know, a little bit goes up and down, like eventually I succeed, but it just, you know, it takes nerves to go, and also guts to do it. During that, like in every production of Swan Lake, that I had to learn Act 4, because in every production it's different. So while I was rehearsing, they were coaching me the version. Called the ballet girls, like so many, they came to me and said, "Oh, we've heard you never danced Swan Lake before." So they already were putting me in a disadvantage, like, yeah, second. And it was hard. I was very nervous. I came to principal dressing rooms the evening I was supposed to dance. I think we had it 2 days prior. Okay. And even hairdresser and makeup, because in Russia they do everything for you. They do your hair, they do makeup, they put you in a costume. They were unfriendly, very cold, very unfriendly. And at the end, everything was not only friendly, but the director of the company, artistic director, came and proposed principal contract.
Wow.
And I said, no, I'm going to go to Bolshoi. I know that my place will be there. And that's how it worked. But it was experience that I wouldn't wish to anybody, like, to go through. I don't know how I did it. The only thing I know that I was very nervous, but seconds, really seconds before my first entrance, all of a sudden it just disappeared, and I came on stage like, I belong here. I always dance this, and miracle happened. It was like that. Saying that, I was so sick because after performance we went back to train, and like overnight train back to Moscow. I really was sick because of nerves.
Oh my goodness. Oh, but you did it. But you did it.
Yeah, I did, and
and you secured the principal title at Bolshoi?
Yeah. I danced everything. Not everything. I danced all classical ballets, and I danced few Grigorovich, and then a few other choreographers. And when Grigorovich told me that I will be doing opening night in Bolshoi tour in 1979 at Lincoln Center.
Right here,
right, exactly. So I will be doing role, and there were two others who did this principal role. They were very famous older dancers, but he chose me and rehearsed me to the way he wanted to see that I dance. It just showed how much he truly believed in me. But road to this kind of situation was slow, actually not that slow, but it was not one day just all of a sudden I became principal dancer.
Right, you worked for it.
Yeah, I worked for it, and it was very, it was great, it was difficult. And it was a question for me that I knew my place. I knew Grigorovich told me after opening night that he told me, actually before Act 3, he said, when you come back to Moscow, and we all come back to Moscow, that it's red carpet for me, that I will be dancing this. And it was like tempting, like, because now everything is open, right? And I remember that I thought, I don't know if I'm coming back, because I already knew my value. If I could survive life in Bolshoi school and Bolshoi theater, I guess I can survive.
Absolutely. I think you can survive anything. And you have been through so much, and we'll get there. So this, I know, defecting was on the brain at this time. You and Leonid, and was the first. I know there were a couple tours that happened.
Many tours.
Many tours did happen.
Yeah.
which was the time that you really put your foot down? And I know sometimes there was not the right opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you wanted to make the move to stay and it didn't work out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, it worked out. What was the moment like when you knew it was time?
I can't say there was a moment. There was a sort of pre-moment when I was joking in the book when I wrote this, but it's actually maybe pushed me over the age. It's like the situation with the 12 eggs.
The 12 eggs.
So people are joking, they're saying that's it. And I said, well, in a way, because at this point I worked so closely with Grigorovich every single day, and he wanted more and more and more. Finally, I succeeded. And then I'm exhausted, there's no food at home, you have to go to store, stay in line, and they stay in another line, and they did what they did.
After a whole day of rehearsals,
yeah,
right?
It's like, and I lost it, like just thinking, screaming.
Now something happened.
Yes, and they called manager, like just come, this girl, just give her newspaper. They gave me newspaper.
Right, because they were just giving you the eggs like this, right?
No,
like
they put on the counter, and I said, what do you want me to do with them? Well, you wanted eggs, have eggs.
Like they're gonna break on the way home. What?
No, I mean I had nothing, like
right.
little purse. And I remember that I was crying, and then when I got out, and Leonid was there because he went to another store, and we had car, right, and my mascara was like I was all black with mascara, and he says, what happened? I said, that's it, we're doing.
It was the eggs.
Seriously. But then, of course, because we were involved, and I was involved in so many great coaching and dancing ballets, that it was questionable, with an exception that I really wanted to learn so much, because I knew that what in Bolshoi, it's fantastic. Life was great. I had incredible coach. Choreographer liked me, all other people, they liked me, they accepted me. And but I would never dance, for example, what I danced here.
Had you stayed?
Yeah, if I stayed. So it was really a hard decision. And I would say that even during 1979 tour, first we went to Canada with Bolshoi, and then we came here, and the opening night I danced, and it was basically almost saving Bolshoi, because I don't know why Grigorovich chose his ballet Stone Flower, where I danced principal role for the opening night, because even as young as I was, I knew that it's not necessarily at this point the best ballet to open season of Bolshoi at Lincoln Center. Yeah, it was a folklore and story. However, I was happy because my role was very difficult.
Very different from what you usually did, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I was happy that we started with. So I come in the middle of first act. And while I stayed backstage, there was no applause from the audience at all. So that everybody danced, and usually when people applaud in the audience, there was none. And the dancers backstage, when I was doing slightly warm up, they were saying, oh my God, they don't like us, they don't like us. And that put even more pressure on me, thinking everybody were against, except Grigorovich, for me to do opening night. They were okay if I did second performance, but not the opening night. And then Grigorovich insisted, I am just about to enter the stage to dance, and it seems like ballet is not receiving yet well. But when I came and I did my first entrance and big solo, and I finished successful, the audience just burst out and screaming. And that was kind of moment when I thought, well, I guess I always believed in myself. I guess I can do. That still was, I wanted, but temptation was great, but life I had also was in Moscow was great. So it's just like, do you follow your dream, or you come to something that you feel very comfortable?
And everything, you kind of, it's more predictable.
Yeah.
You kind of know what's going to happen. You've been told what's going to happen.
Right.
Or is it the unknown where your dreams could be lying?
Exactly. And especially that I didn't know. We've got political asylum like in 5 hours. With absolutely permission to work, travel anywhere we wanted. So that was that fast. That was during President Carter, his last few months in the office. And however, I had no idea what is going to happen. Will they grant us political asylum or not? So it's really, you put your life in total danger. I believed that the outcome will be good, but you really don't know. You're risking your life, like to no event. Now, like looking at the car that we slept first night.
That was out in Los Angeles, right?
Yeah, in the outskirts of Los Angeles. I didn't sleep all night, well, neither Leonid, but
I can't imagine that first night when you decided to steal away and sneak out of the theater and not join your company on the bus.
And it was, I don't know, it must be either like believe in ourselves or believe in myself, hoping for the best outcome, but you really don't know. And also realization there's no way back. I didn't want to go back because I chose this path, and but you really don't know how it is going to be. You only can rely on yourself, and first of all on authorities, and the second 100% on yourself. I can't say that I started from the beginning because I was principal with Bolshoi. I had very good training, education and everything, but I don't know how country is going to take me in a culture sense. I don't know how other countries will take me in a culture sense. But the good thing happened, I never allowed myself to lose one step even in class. So when people were watching, like soon after defection, I started to take classes. You know how you pay whatever dollars you go and take class anywhere. And so people were watching, and I knew, I didn't speak English, and I knew that they're waiting for something is not going to go good. So it just never happened. I always did whatever, adagio, turns, whatever it is. I did. Because all my life, that's how I guess I was functioning. I just simply did not allow it not to succeed.
Right.
I don't know what to tell you because it sounds strange, but I guess
there was no other option.
Exactly. I didn't have any option. Actually, you reminded me of something. In 1991, after Perestroika, when Leonid was able to do group of New York City ballet dancers and some other dancers to go to Moscow, to Kremlin, and to perform. We already were divorced, but we still danced together and in a good relationship. And so Suzanne Farrell was coaching specifically Allegro Brillante, Concerto Barocco, Apollo, and all of this big, difficult balancing rap. And the company, they arrived 2 nights or 2 days before the opening night. And I believe I had performance in Paris. So I went to Paris, and from Paris I arrived night before the opening night of this group in Kremlin. And that morning, my uncle came and told me that my mother terminally ill. So that's a shock. My first trip to Moscow, to Russia after Perestroika. Besides, I was scared. And then this auditorium where I performed when I was with Bolshoi, like on a regular basis, it's a 6,000 seats. and
That's a
the
big house.
proscenium is like 100 feet this way. I mean, it's enormous.
Huge.
It's enormous. And I'm dancing like a difficult rap, and I have NBC television following me seconds before I come on stage, like camera here. I know that theater is full, was total sold out. Many people who knew me, they came to see, meaning from Bolshoi, Stanislavski and other theaters, probably thinking, well, let's see what she gained or what she lost. You know, that's also like responsibility. Plus, it's not dancing the classics; it's dancing completely different repertoire. And so there were 6 performances, and was going extremely well. And right before last performance, one Russian critic was allowed to come to my dressing room while I was doing makeup, and he asked me this question. He said, well, I watched first performance and it was like really incredible, like not one mistake. And I remember I was doing my eyelashes and I said yes. And he said, and then second performance, and then third performance, and all 5 performances, there are no mistakes. So I said so, and he said, well, how did it happen? How does it happen? I said, I have no choice. There's no choice.
It's what you do.
Yeah, that's what I do. Yeah, that was it. I think that's probably what drives me in general.
I was gonna say, what is, you have NBC right there, you have a full house, you're dancing. What's going through your head to calm your nerves? How are you focusing in? How are you getting ready to get on stage and not make any mistakes? What is it that goes through your head?
But I was also pushing a little bit off because I was a little bit scared. And I really was scared.
I guess just focusing on, I work a lot. I worked a lot before every performance, whether I dance on a big stage or small stage, I never marked. I rehearse full out. I did rehearse full out all my life. And I guess it's, I had a good base in that, and also probably determination that to do well what I'm doing. It is a difficult moment that before any performance you come. The more experienced you become, the easier it is. You still have this sort of like, not being nervous, but sort of like, I get focused. I don't talk much backstage. And but that specific performance, especially first one, it was everything is out of my brain. I just have to concentrate because I wanted to show what I achieved. I did that step, very difficult step for myself, losing whatever I had, but I achieved that. That was very important for me, and it just I guess it is a miracle, but it was kind of predictable miracle.
It worked for miracle.
Yeah, right,
for sure.
Right.